Okay, so the first song I'm going to be doing is Peerless Pressure. I'm just going to be talking about like what the song is about. So the song premise, the title, first of all, Peerless Pressure, is basically the antithesis of peer pressure, right? So peer pressure makes you behave in a way to conform to society, to impress your friends, to impress your peers. While peerless pressure is basically being rebellious and not caring about what anybody else says or anybody else thinks, just wanting to be in your own isolated space, and basically just wanting to stay to yourself. Now the song is also talking about what that does to you, like what suffering from that peerless pressure can do to you. The same way that peer pressure can make you do crazy things like going on Instagram and like editing your photos so that you look presentable or you look impressive. Peerless pressure is basically doing the opposite, like to the point where maybe you just don't even care, like you don't care enough to even like brush your hair, you don't care enough to maybe have your bath. This is like a phase that people tend to go through, and so peerless pressure. It says so. Some my mind is sick. Some say my mind is sick, and I'll be a convalescent never. This is basically a feeling that comes with this peerless pressure in itself, in which you feel hopeless, like um, you feel disconnected, you just feel totally sick in the head. And some people also diagnose you that way, even when you're not doing anything. Like it could just be withdrawing to yourself or being isolated, just because maybe you're not like relating with people, or just choose to be more closed off or a bit more selective, then you tend to be labeled sick, and then you'll say basically that you feel like you would never heal, or you get told that you're never going to heal, that that's just how you're going to be, is just sick forever. And then this that peerless pressure that makes you say this about life, so this is real hard. So again, peerless pressure also affects that tendency, that inclination to want to stay by yourself, basically affects your ability to do things like networking, making friends, which are also essential for stuff like getting jobs, which help. Like if you want to get like a referral for a particular job, peerless pressure keeps you isolated to yourself, since nobody knows you, nobody can refer you. And then because nobody refers you, you don't get the job. Because you don't get the job, you just stay to yourself, and then the cycle basically continues. So that's what that's saying, and it makes you say that yeah, life is hard, because it makes it hard for you to exit sort of your circle, your regular day to day, and step out of your shell. I do not need no company unless I be the CEO. So it's basically saying I don't need your company. I don't need anything from you. This is the what peerless pressure makes you say or makes you feel, like you're an island of knowledge, that you're able to, sort things out by yourself. You're not. You don't need anybody else. When you see me run from me, I'm constantly in demon mode. It also makes you to push people away from you for good reasons, for bad reasons. You're trying to avoid bad energy, avoid issues. Like you feel some people will come into your life and cause drama. Stay away. So because of that, like you just push everybody away, or you also just feel like no, you don't want. You just want your own personal space, or you don't want anybody to feel what you're going through. You know, my mental charge hits harder than RBC BMO. 10% of my brain is not insane, and you should know. So this is basically saying like that mental stress that comes with peerless pressure, that having to push people away all the time, it just leaves you mentally fatigued, leaves you mentally drained. You suffer from things like brain fog, and that hits you very hard. 10% of my brain is not insane. So you feel crazy. It's a crazy feeling, like you feel like you're about to lose it all. For contributing to Community 101, give me an A. So that's saying like contributing to community, you're able to do the basic things like community 101. You're able to do the basic things in community, just having like conversation, oh hi, hello, and then that's where it ends. No, nothing deeper, no connecting on like a deeper level, is basically what another thing that peerless pressure causes for you. So for that, give me an A. Or community 1 on 1, you can also hear it as 1 on 1 or 1 101. So basically, it's going to say like one on one, you're able to connect directly with people rather than with a large group of people. You never like feel comfortable in a crowd. And but when it comes to doing the reverse, you're Shamateo, so you're not comfortable. You can also switch to being comfortable in the crowd and not comfortable one on one, depending on the scenario. So just making you, it just makes you unstable as well. Not even a pocket down. So you become used to like not even expecting any phone calls at all, like from anybody. Like you just stay completely closed off to the point where even your phone ringing like sets you off. Like, yo, why the heck is my phone ringing? Like it feels like some kind of disturbance or emergency, and that's what that peerless pressure, because you've pushed so many people away, you don't even expect any form of outreach or anything, and it becomes almost an annoyance, like someone like having their phone on DND 247 is a consequence of peerless pressure. It could be a consequence of peerless pressure. And still suffering with a crooked smile, as we say, suffering and smiling. So that is, pretending that you're good or trying to convince yourself that you're good or convince others that there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah. Why the fuck would I want you to be my friend? Why would I want you to be my friend? When I was taught to love to be left alone, I was taught to love my neighbor as myself. So, some people are actually taught from like a younger age that they shouldn't, be friends with people or shouldn't form too many friendships, that it's good to be on your own. Some are taught to also love your neighbor as yourself, as the Bible teaches us. But then, how do you love somebody as yourself when you don't actually love yourself, first of all? Like, if you hate yourself and you're trying to love somebody else, then you're doing a disservice to that person by trying to love them. And some people are actually taught, this is particularly about like, parents who teach their children to stay away, like basically restrict them. Helicopter parents say, oh, don't be friends with that person, don't be friends with that person, scared of everybody being a bad influence and causing you to basically withdraw to yourself and isolate, and just every of your thoughts go to worst case scenario. Oh, if I talk to this person, this may happen, which may lead to that, which may lead to this, which may causing you to isolate. So that's that peerless pressure that causes you to not be able to connect with people. So here's my own episode. Tell me where to go, mommy. Don't ignore me. You told me that God would be there for me. Don't ignore me. Why didn't you give birth to a normie? Don't ignore me. You're the reason that nobody saw me. Don't ignore me. This is, again, that parenting aspect again, where where now that you've grown up, then it was okay because you were younger and you were, still, it wasn't really a big deal then. But then when you grow up, eventually it becomes a thing where you have to sort of step out of that shell, and then now you're feeling directionless. You're feeling like you don't really know where to take it, if this is truly you, if you're somebody who really likes to keep to themselves, who really likes to isolate, or if you're truly an introvert, or if you're not, if you were made to be an introvert, are you artificially an introvert, that kind of thing. That's basically what that question is asking. Like trying to, and then you feel kind of stuck and feel like that feeling of regret where you go, you're always thinking of what it could have been if you had been more open, more social. And all these are just the effects, the causes and like the effects of what I call peerless pressure.